We are in Dallas, Texas. It is season 5 of the Big 3 and week 7. We start out, you got it right there, 3's Company and the Killer 3's to get your day going. The Comerica Center, the diehards for the Big 3 are in the house. They're fired up because it is do or die time for some of these teams. We got a couple of games to show you on Big CBS, 3's Company, Killer 3's, Tri-State, and Power, the Zone, and YouTube. We hop over there for Ghost Ballers and Trilogy later in the afternoon. So this is the way things shape up in the standings. The bottom 4 teams are not eligible now for the playoffs. So the bottom 4 teams have been eliminated. Their season is done. 2 more teams will actually be eliminated after today. So we will have 6 teams going into next week's Week 8. He's the little general, Avery Johnson. I'm Lisa Bryantton, and Brian Scalabrine is roaming the sidelines for us as well. With the Big 3, Avery, not messing around. It is do or die time to try to make the playoffs here today.
You're right, Lisa. It's win or go home. And in this first game, Dante Green must slow down Michael Beasley. I know it's team basketball, but you have to win your one-on-one matchup, so that's going to be the biggest key in this first game.
Let's talk about Dante Green, and obviously one of the toughest covers so far this year in the league.
Yeah, and sometimes your best defense is offense. He's got to be effective offensively, does a really nice job playing above the rim, finishing inside, and he's going to have to knock down a couple of threes to put some pressure on the defense.
Michael Beasley doesn't need any introduction. We know what he's done in his career, but he's the new guy here in this league. But he leads the league in 4-pointers in terms of, and 4th in terms of points scored, and so he has taken this league by storm in year number 1.
Michael Beasley is a scoring machine. He's been that way his entire career. He's left-handed, plays a little unorthodox, great body control, very good weak side defender. We know he has unlimited range. He can knock down shots once he gets out of his car.
Here are the rosters presented by PNC Bank. The Kansas Connection, 3's Company. The Jayhawks, Wright and Rush, and Chalmers, and K-State's Michael Beasley. And the Killer 3's, they have won 3 straight. Frank Nitty coming off a 16-point game performance in week 6 against Bivouac. And Charles Oakley, arguably, Oak has his team playing as some of the best basketball in the league here right now. Winners of 3 straight, going against Michael Cooper, 3's Company, 5-time NBA champ, also a champion in the WNBA, and trying to get his team back to a championship here in the Big 3. They've won back-to-back games. And of course, if you're new to the Big 3, we'll keep you cut off to the key rules. First team to 50 wins. You got to win by 2 points. Halftime comes to the first to 25. No game clock. There's a 14-second shot clock. The free throws, you get 1 shot based on where you get fouled on the court. And there is a 4-point shot 30 feet away. And all a player has to do is have, what, a shoelace or any part of the shoe touching one of those 3 spots.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Beasley knocks down 2 4-pointers today. We'll see. He has that range.
Wow, he's got 4 here for the season. And crowded in the lane already and going down hard is Dante Green. They might have heard you, Avery, in terms of just swarming numbers towards number 20's way.
And I'm thinking, if that's not a foul, if this is not a foul, what is a foul? But that's what happens in the Big 3. It's really physical. Referees, they don't bail you out. You gotta make plays.
There's your foul. Is this a good time to say that Ian McClenny and Gerda Gatling and Stephanie Barksdale are the officials here in game number 1?
That's right. And we've had 2 takedowns on the first 2 plays of the game.
You know what? It's a lot on the line for a lot of these teams here playing today. And the foul, as you can see, going against Julian Wright. So it'll be 1 shot for 2 points for Josh Powell.
Yeah, Josh didn't have enough room to land on that shot. Fortunately, looked like he tweaked his ankle a little bit, but looked like he's okay.
You see that rule in every part of the league, from college to the NBA to the Big 3, trying to protect the shooter with that call. Backdoor look. Chalmers misses the layup. And Powell clears.
Yeah, nice backdoor cut. Got to finish around the basket. Layups are critical.
Green gets the first 2 for him, and it's a 4-0 edge here for the Killer 3's.
And I think we got to keep our eyes on Josh Powell. He still looks like he's limping a little bit.
Couple of missed layups here for both sides. Beasley can't get that one. Green checks his feet. That's a 3-point attempt. A little bit too strong.
And as we talked about in the open, we understand Green's assignment is to slow down Michael Beasley. But one of the ways you can do it is not just what you do defensively. He has to be a threat offensively.
Make him work a little bit on the defensive end. Chalmers for three. A captain for 3's company. Julian Wright gets another look, slip. Be a wet spot there on the floor. Session trying to give it up, turns it over. Wright can put it back up. You don't need to clear on a play like that on a steal. And here's Beasley with the fadeaway in his first two.
Now, 2 weeks ago, Julian Wright was very instrumental in helping, his team get off to a quick start. We'll see if he can finish some of those baskets. Nice play by Beasley. This guy can just, fade away, make shots, fundamental.
Nitty takes it inside and draws the foul.
Now you notice on that last pick and roll coverage, Beasley didn't want to switch on that play. He was trying to allow his teammate Chalmers to get under not only the screener, but the way he was pinching up on the screener to try to get under both players. We call that two removed.
The 3-on-3 game is interesting. All these players, I mean, you play 3-on-3, right? If you're a basketball player, you play 1-on-1, you play 3-on-3. But, let's be honest, for a guy like Beasley, he misses that shot. Most of his work, 5-on-5, so you got to, this year, kind of relearn the 3-on-3 game. Powell takes a look at it. Chalmers was thinking about the three. We'll take the two instead. Oh, that went in.
That would have been a highlight.
Green over to Session. They're going to give him that shot, apparently.
And that's basically the scouting report. They'll live with Frank Nitty taking those outside shots. They just do not want him to break down the team defensively and get to the basket.
Beasley leaning in, not there. The tip isn't there for Wright either. Low scoring to begin with. Again, the first of 25 gets us to halftime. That's a three-point lift there for Session. Say, you going to give me that shot? I'm going to knock down that shot.
Now, a big key in that situation, even though you're baiting him to shoot the three, once he rises up, you still have to get a hand up and contest it.
Chalmers looking to take the corner, looking to take Session, who gets whistled for the foul. So one shot for 2 points coming up for Mario Chalmers.
So right now, Beasley is spacing him, bait him into shooting the three. But once he rises up, you got to get a hand up to at least contest it. We call that a late contest.
We got our first bring the fire. Good challenge on a shooting foul. 2 players involved, going to go 1-on-1. This will count for 2 points.
Yeah, that was a good challenge.
As we said, it's a 1-on-1 battle. Both players involved there, so it'll be Session defending Chalmers. Each team gets 1 challenge per half.
This is another way that the Big 3 is always cutting edge and trying to keep the game fun.
It's something that they introduced last year. Session with a block. Show me some defense, Frank Nitty.
Yeah, and his coach, Charles Oakley, was very excited about that defense. Looked like Baby Oak when he was playing for the Bulls and the Knicks.
I love that Oak was bringing the fire, a defensive challenge for the defensive player. 2-time NBA all-defensive player. That's the other great thing about the Big 3s. I sit here and I watch, and legends across the board. Powell, mid-range look. And Chalmers clears, gets it out to Beasley. Quiet start for Beasley. And a blocking foul that time on Dante Green. Doesn't necessarily agree.
And right now, 3's company, it's pretty much all isolation ball. Nobody's really moving. You know, even though it's 3-on-3, you can move and cut, but everybody's just, seems like they're just standing around waiting for Beasley to try to win this game for them.
Well, Beasley knocks it down, that one shot for two, and Brian Scalabrine, I know that you've watched 3's company. One thing that they've told you in some of your in-game interviews, look, they're looking to play together a little bit more, and they've looked fantastic the last couple of weeks.
No question. When they have that ball moving, they look like one of the better teams in the Big 3, but Avery, you're right. It doesn't look like they're playing that same style right now.
Yeah, a little bit of a different look for them as Green knocks down the triple try.
Now, a lot of times we always want to talk about the end of games, but how you start games are critically in question.
Especially in a league like this, it's a 10-4 advantage. We'll be back in 30 right after this. It's a 10-4 edge. Killer 3's over 3's company here in week 7 of Big 3 action. Let's take a look at the Microsoft Player of the Week. And it is Kevin Murphy. Gets half the votes in the week 6 results. Three-headed Monsters leads the league in scoring, tied for 5th in rebounding, and certainly up there for, Player of the Year candidate.
Yeah, he scored a total of 157 points. Leading the league in scoring, got terrific size, ball handling ability. Just been very impressed with Kevin Murphy.
Beasley nearly had a triple-double against week 6 in the Ball Hogs. 16 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. He finished second in the voting for last week. He's got all 4 points for 3's company here to begin with. See the shooting. 3's company 1 for 11 to begin with.
Now, normally teams like to come out with a little set play here.
That was a deep attempt there for Beasley.
Yeah, so that was 3's company came out with a little pick and roll misdirection flare, trying to get Michael Beasley, which was a good look.
And Avery, I was going to say, if he's going to shoot that deep, just move over a little bit to the right and put your foot on that 4-point circle.
Yeah.
That's right with the turnaround.
It just seems like the Killer 3 should be up by more than 4 points.
I was just thinking that. You know, as poorly as 3's company is shooting, only a 4-point game. Session. Nitty taking it inside. One of the smallest players playing big. We will take a timeout. Killer 3's doubling up 3's company. Big 3 in season number 5 and week 7. Lot on the line for these two teams. First half of our first game between 3's company and Killer 3's 12-6 advantage. Hey, TickPick is proud to be the official secondary ticket marketplace of the Big 3. Why pay extra for tickets when you can get the same seats for better prices on TickPick? Download the app to get the guaranteed best prices on tickets to any live event. No service fees, period. 5 points for Frank Nitty of the Killer 3's, and he's standing by with Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So, Frank, going into this game knowing that it's a little bit of an elimination game, did that change the way that you approach it today?
100%. That changes the way we all approach the game. We know what it is. We know how important it is. We just got to go out there and execute.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
You know, Avery, this is my first time I got a chance to work the semifinals last year in the Big 3, but this is my first game, so I've been watching, of course, the season, and all that Scal is talking about is how early he gets to the weight room at the hotel. And in fact, how early Oak also gets to the weight room. He's talking about 6:30 a.m., so what did I do? I showed up at the weight room at like 6:30 a.m. You know who I saw?
Who?
Myself.
Yes.
Scal?
No, Scal was having breakfast. I think he gets confused on
Hold on,
what the weight room looks like.
Hold on.
I was looking. I looked under like the dumbbells. I looked
Wait
under the floor mats. I was like, Scal's got to be here somewhere.
I was trying to relive my days, and I was playing hoops, and my back is tight today. Okay, that's my excuse.
Well, you could have been in the weight room stretching.
I had to go outside where it's 108 degrees outside.
Beasley, red hot like the temperatures here in Dallas, Avery.
Yeah, Beasley cannot be left alone. Sometimes, you know, even though it's 3-on-3, you got to mix up your defense on Beasley, especially on pick and rolls.
Corner shot there for Josh Powell. And a 14-9 edge.
Now you see 3's company going to more sets, trying to get more organized, which puts you in position to get those offensive rebounds.
And they find Beasley again. Not that time. Green clears. Powell back to Green. 7 to shoot. Green flips it over to Powell. Good two-player game there.
What a beautiful play, driving kick. Nice hook pass from Green to Powell, and Powell was ready to shoot. Shot ready.
Beasley knocks it down in the face of Josh Powell.
It just looks like Beasley has that mindset that he's got to go score 30 today and lead his team to victory.
Well, sharing the basketball, we've talked about that has been part of their success for 3's company, but certainly Beasley's got to have that scoring punch to him.
Yeah, and 3's companies, they'll have a long afternoon if Frank Nitty continues to knock down 3. He had 16 points last week.
It's going to be a long day for Killer 3's if he keeps doing that.
And this is what I love about the Big 3. No lead is really safe until you get to 50 points. You got to get to that 50-point mark. You remember last week, 3's company was dominating the Ball Hogs, 25-6, and ended up winning 50-47. And Beasley is keeping his team close with his three-point shooting.
We saw that graphic 13 of the team's first 15 points. Frank Nitty tries a step-through move as an offensive foul call.
Yeah, and if you look at Dante Green, that's the one where he wants Frank Nitty to make that pass, that extra pass.
Couple of 6'2" guys and Chalmers and Frank Nitty. I mean, he's got a hand in his face and he's doing that.
And he's smiling. He's thinking in his mind, this is too easy. You better do something different.
Beasley 4 for 5 with 3-pointers. And they got Chalmers with the hooking call. A little bit of contact there between Chalmers and Dante Green down on the post.
There's just too much space. You got to force Beasley to drive that ball to the basket.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
You and I could play with Beasley at this rate.
We could. Well, significant as Green gets the flush. Avery, Chalmers picked up his 3rd personal foul, and we know that one of the rules in the Big 3, if you get 3 personal fouls in the first half, and there is an eligible sub, which 3's company has, Chalmers has to sit the rest of the game, and there's your Derek Byers, eligible sub.
Yep, and Byers, that's what you love when a guy's been on the bench and he comes off the bench and he's ready. He doesn't take time to get loose. Nice pass here.
Oh boy, left him open. Beasley's better when he's got a hand in his face. Tied at 21, 3's company, Killer 3's. Week 7 of Big 3 basketball session, all kinds of pumping. They let him play a little bit. They like that. The Big 3, Beasley from the corner.
Wow.
Red hot, he's got 5 3-point makes.
If Beasley continues to shoot the ball like that, then it's going to go to 120 degrees outside in Dallas.
It's already
He's on fire.
Inside. A 3-point look. Johnson had 10 points, double figures last week against Bivouac. Again, the first to 25, and we're at halftime, and there it is, the bucket. Woo-hoo-hoo.
He is.
3's company's hoping he doesn't cool down at halftime.
He is putting on an absolute show here in Dallas, Texas. Nice little Euro step here. Drive, got to his left hand, finished on the right side of the basket. Man, this guy's putting on an absolute show here.
This could be, if he keeps this up, a history-making kind of scoring day for Michael Beasley. That's the end of the first half. You see your score between Killer 3's and 3's company. We'll return to Dallas after these messages and a word from your local station. Next Saturday, it's the final week of the regular season. Playoff bursts will be on the line. Who's in, who's out? All of the drama unfolds in the Big 3. It's next Saturday at 1 here on CBS. Score of your first game, just the way we like it. Nice and tight, 26-24. 3's company with a slight edge over the Killer 3's. Avery Johnson and Lisa Byington with you. Woo! Michael Beasley, you know, I mean, 5 threes, 21 points. Like I said, it could be a record-setting day here for him in the Big 3.
Yeah, he's on fire, and he's doing it from all over the floor. You got to change up your defense on Michael Beasley, because just showing him single coverage or one-on-one coverage, you got to, right here, too much space. You got to get out there quicker, run him off the three-point line. He's just having his way with the Killer 3's. Nice Euro step and the smile. He's playing with a ton of confidence.
Heat is the way to go. The Big 3 Heat Vision is powered by Microsoft, and this is how Michael Beasley has got it done in the first half.
Yeah. When you're scoring from all over the floor, inside, out, the only place he hasn't scored is from the left corner. Maybe they need to force him to the left three-point corner. Have more
it's working,
success.
Avery, it's working. Beasley is with Scout.
All right, I'm here with Michael Beasley. So what happened when you, after that timeout, when you just came out on fire?
Just started shooting the ball.
Now, when it comes to the inside-outside, how do you decide when you decide to drive it or shoot the three?
Basketball.
And then the last one would be, is it a little bit different knowing that this could be the last game if you guys don't get a win?
No.
All the same to you. Thanks, Mike.
He was actually one of the more, not very talkative there to Scal, as we have seen this season, but he is to his team.
Yeah, he's much more animated talking to his teammates. Maybe more comfortable than talking to Scal. Does Scal intimidate people when he interviews them?
That's what I like to think. I mean, he is in the workout facility at 6:30 a.m., except for today. You know, there's a reason why Cube wanted to bring Beasley as he draws a foul. Ice Cube really wanted to bring Michael Beasley to the league, right? Was one of the targets in the offseason. And I remember watching you do the first game in Chicago. Michael Beasley knocked down his first shot. I think it was a left corner three.
Sure was.
If I remember right.
And that Michael Beasley was one of the guys that Ice Cube talked about wanting to play in the Big 3, wanting him to join the Big 3, and Ice Cube got his wish.
Fans are happy about it too. 3-point knockdown for Johnson.
The basket must be a little bit wider or something. In this first game.
Stretch it out here in Dallas?
Yes.
A little bit. Well, the first 2 weeks, of course, taking place in Chicago. Weeks 3 through week 8. So next week also in Dallas. 6 weeks here in Texas. And the playoffs in Tampa.
Yeah, these teams are 11 for 19 from the three-point line combined. That's some serious three-point efficiency and accuracy.
Killer 3's, Hires knocks down another three-point shot.
I wonder when Michael Cooper's sitting on a bench and he has his left hand on his cheek, what is he thinking about? That probably is thinking in his mind, none of these guys to score on me. Probably, what are you thinking? In his heyday? Or is he thinking, man, I would love to have guarded Michael Beasley?
Well, it's interesting because he is starting this second half with a little bit of a different lineup, right? And no Mario Chalmers, who had to sit out the rest of the first half because of the 3 personals, but he could start this second half, and instead going with it, Derek Byers.
Yeah, and Chalmers has gotten off to a slow start, 0 for 5 from the field, so we'll see. We know he makes big shots.
Rush with a good hustle play. See if they try to reward him. Brandon Rush off the feet there of Beasley, but finding Byers. Step back, gets behind that 3-point line, and it pops out. Dominic Johnson with the pull-up. He's got a good group going.
Now, in this next possession, the ball has to find Michael Beasley. You got to get him the ball. You can't go 2 or 3 possessions in a row without him attempting a shot.
Man's got 21 points in 1 half. Now he's got 23 here for the game.
Absolutely. Right on cue. They must have been listening to my outstanding coaching recommendation.
You've had a lot of outstanding coaching moments in this state. Avery Johnson, tied at 31, pulling up. It's Johnson now with the hot hand for the killer threes.
And we can just tell, Lisa, that this game is going to go down to the wire at this rate. Both teams may be tied 48-48.
Gonna give him that shot. No 4-pointers yet in this game. Johnson, another 3. We've had plenty of 3-pointers, and Johnson has knocked down a handful of them as of late.
Yeah, but that was KJ McDaniels on the hustle for the offensive rebound. If you don't box your man out, that's the easiest time to get 3s on offensive rebounds.
3 3-point looks there for Johnson, and the answer by Byers.
And give Michael Beasley credit for creating that open shot for his teammate.
Over to Johnson. Defended now by Byers. Almost got him. He's got to pull the trigger. 1 on the shot clock. Floats it up. Foul there. KJ McDaniels. A free throw.
Yep. Beasley, really good weak side defender. A nice 3 there by Johnson. Got 2 Johnsons in the house.
Straight.
He's a much better shooter than me, though.
But can he dish the rock like you?
No. Absolutely.
Josh Powell will check in. And Frank Nitty gets a breather, says Coach O. Killer threes, of course, barely missed the playoffs last year. They earn a playoff spot with a win here today. Johnson again! Woo-hoo-hoo! Got that killer look now for the killer threes.
Johnson, he'll get all of the style points for knocking down the 3s, but that's the second time that KJ McDaniels got a 50-50 ball and kicked it out for a 3-point shot. Outstanding team basketball. It starts on defense, but it finishes with offense.
The Big 3 on CBS Sports is sponsored by American Home Shield. Keeps your home up and running and your budget on track. Learn more at ahs.com.
Look at that smile. Look at Avery Johnson, player and a coach here in the state of Texas.
Wow, what happened to all of my muscles?
Still got some?
I have a no-pack now. I had a 12-pack back then in my abdominal area. Man, I need to get back in the weight room like Scal. That was some fun times.
You know who does have some muscles, though? Charles Oakley.
Oh, yes.
Right? He's mic'd up for us. We'll take a listen.
When we get out to a good start, it's going to come easy. When you get down, you got to work harder. So let's keep going being smart. Know what they doing. What they doing? They have made 6 out of 8 threes. So what we got to do? Get up to them, make them close. Make them drive.
That's what I love about the Big 3, the access that we get, and always interesting to dive into the minds of some of the basketball legends that are coaching here in this league.
And the beautiful thing is, the Big 3 has a lot for young aspiring basketball players, folks that have been fans of basketball their entire career. Nice move by Chalmers. A lot of young aspiring basketball players can learn a lot listening into those Hall of Fame legendary coaches that we have in the Big 3s.
Yeah, those coaches don't mince any words either.
No.
they talk it. They tell it to you straight. Well, Chalmers, he's no stranger to success. He knows when he needs to pick it up a little bit. And as you had mentioned, Avery, a little bit of slow start for the captain. He chases it down after the miss. His team trailing by 3, but he cannot it up after that play, and one for Mario Chalmers.
And that's what Chalmers does. He'll get off to a slow start, and then all of a sudden, when you really need him, he's going to be there for you. Nice drive, finish through contact.
First points here of the game coming in the last couple of possessions here for Chalmers and 3's company.
Yeah, and in his defense, Beasley, he's been hot the entire game. He was fighting a little foul trouble, but he's back now.
Free throw knocks it at 39. 5 ties, couple lead changes. Beasley again, 25 points. Reminiscent, Jarrett Jack had 35 points last year in the semifinals. Set an all-time record in terms of playoffs or regular season scoring in the league. And Avery, he's sitting on 5 threes. If he gets another three-pointer, that ties a record with 6 in the league.
Johnson he's played, his best basketball of the season. He's got 4 threes, 16 points.
We got 2 guys trying to chase down that record. They're asking for a review on this. And each coach will get 1 challenge for the game. And so this one will be under review. Now, if you win the challenge, you actually are rewarded 1 more challenge for the rest of the game.
So initially, it looked like Beasley went airborne. He was inbounds when he tapped the ball here, and it looked like it hits Green's left foot, and then it goes out of bounds. But it hit
Beasley.
Wow, this would be an interesting.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's a tricky one here.
Ian McClenny is the crew chief. 3 officials working game 1. Stephanie Barksdale, Gerda Gatling are the other 2 officials.
The only thing that can change with Beasley if they thought his left foot was out of bounds when he first touched the ball. But man, these teams they're playing with passion and energy. So yeah, that's what happened. I think Beasley's left foot was out of bounds when he touched the ball.
The initial touch, the deflection that hit him a second time.
And that's good, efficient officiating when you go to the monitor.
Bring Nitty back after getting a little bit of a breather. Back in town, Green drawing the foul.
And that was one of our big points of emphasis with Green to start the game, that he's got to be effective offensively. Can't be a one-way player. Nice job here. Good shot fake, pump fake. Maybe got away with a little bit of a travel, but.
That free throw, 1 shot for 2 points. He's now the 2nd leading scorer here on the Killer 3 side.
And it's interesting here, Coach Oakley, is giving Dominique Johnson a little bit of a breather.
Chalmers for 3. His first 3-point make of this game.
And he was wide open. Oak was like, what type of defense is that? I don't teach that.
He's got some range, too. A couple of 4-point makes here this season. Puts him tied for second here in the league. Green. 2-pointer. Chalmers tips it to Beasley. He clears it. Now you see how tight Session is playing Chalmers. What that hesitation, flips it up.
Wow.
And a late whistle coming up.
That was a really nice hesitation. You know, last week we saw that premiere of point guards. And a lot of those guys, your Rod Stricklands, your Mark Jacksons, your Marberries, they were really famous, those New York City point guards with that hesitation dribble. I've been on the defensive end of that move. It's not fun.
Well, Avery, you and I worked with one of the best, and Steve Smith with the Smitty, right?
The Smitty.
Little short shape. Sometimes you don't need to break your defender off the dribble. Do it with a change of speed. McDaniels gets a look. Chases down his own miss. Beasley gets it back. He stepped on the sideline. Got a lot of room there to work with.
Yeah, when you bring in that next defender, that sideline.
And again, to set the stage, 3's company lose and they go home. Their season is done. Killer 3's earn a playoff spot with a win. And it's the first to 50. You got to win by 2. Pull-up is pure for Johnson.
And nice substitution by Coach Oakley to get Johnson back in the game. He's the guy that's been carrying the Killer 3's offensively today.
He's got 19 points. Beasley with the miss. Johnson gives it up that time.
Now remember, Beasley was hot earliest in the first half.
Johnson flipping it up. There's the tip. Nitty gets it.
Got to box out. Now they're going to go to Beasley here against Johnson.
Again, you got to win by 2. Beasley, 3's company, now trailing by 1. Chalmers threads the needle. What a perfect pass. There to Julian Wright.
Beautiful pocket pass. Nice, beautiful finish by Julian Wright.
Johnson has the hot hand. 19 points, looking for another 3. He's also got 5 3-point makes. There's Green with a triple try. Gets his own miss. Flushes it home.
Consecutive breakdowns defensively by not boxing out. Shooting and fouling your shot is a very effective play right now for the Killer 3's.
Win or go home for 3's company. And a foul on the dribble. Green got him.
Nice follow on this shot with Green and flushed it.
Beasley leaning in. And it's before the shot. Is what Ian McClenny was saying, the crew chief. Beasley saying that he was fouled.
The Killer 3's, 6 fouls. They have 6.
Yeah, it's got to be 16 fouls before you get to the bonus in 3's company. I thought they might be in the bonus.
Right.
The officials say differently. 4-pointer would win it here for 3's company. Chalmers wants to try to take it. Off the bounce. Chalmers backing down. Session hits the bucket and the foul. Clutch Chalmers when it counts.
And because the 3's company could have won it with a 4-point shot, Nitty had to defend Chalmers further out on the court, and then Chalmers put it in drive. Nice spin move here, body control. Looked like a little bit of a left elbow to Frank Nitty's jaw or chin.
This free throw is for 1 point to complete the 3-point play. Would put him at 49. Again, you got to win by 2.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Chalmers is finishing strong, trying to provide Michael Beasley some help offensively.
Beasley fighting for it, gives it out to right, just misses the reverse.
Could have won it, could have won it. Now, everything comes into play for the killer threes.
Chalmers is whistled for the foul.
No threes is what Michael Cooper is screaming.
Charles Oakley wants to call a timeout and talk about it. We'll be back in 30 right after this. Down the stretch we come. Week 7, Season 5 of the Big 3. 3's Company and Killer 3's trying to get to that magical 50-point mark. What's at stake? 3's Company, they got to win this or they go home. Their season is done. And the Killer 3's, a little bit of wiggle room. A win clinches a playoff spot for them. You know, the bottom 4 teams going into this weekend have been eliminated. There's no possible mathematical way that the bottom 4 teams could make the playoffs, so their season is done. Cube and the Big 3, so they're going to eliminate, continue to eliminate teams, so 2 more will be eliminated after this weekend.
And I know the 3's Company, they love the royal ice cube treatment, the nice hotels and the incredible food. So they don't want to go home. They want to continue on this journey. Nothing is second class about the Big 3. Everything is first class.
Well, 3's Company's got to be careful. A 3-pointer could win it for Killer 3's. First to 50, got to win by 2. Johnson has been the MVP for the Killer 3 so far. Crosses it over. Johnson for the win. Not there. Session with the rebound. Johnson takes another try. Ball game. Johnson, the super sub off the bench.
And the huge assist by Frank Nitty. Offensive rebound and kicked it out to Johnson. Ball game.
Killer 3's, absolutely killer, and ending 3 Company season with this shot.
Here's Frank Nitty. Nice pass. Johnson shot ready. Knocked it down. Sending 3's Company packing for the season. They're going on vacation, Lisa.
A little bit sooner than what they wanted.
Way to represent the Johnsons. Dominate.
50-48, your final in game number 1. Johnson, 9 of 12 shooting in the second half. 21 points, 5 3-point makes. Killer 3's have been killer. It's their 4th straight win, Avery.
Yeah, they caught fire at the right time. And remember, we talked about that this game was going to be tied 48-48. And somebody was going to have to hit a game winner. And it was 48-47. So we were close, Lisa, on our prediction.
We definitely were. Hey, 5-2, now the Killer 3's record. That's the end of the game. The score, 50-48. Look at that little one. Loving the work of Johnson. Stay tuned for more Big 3 action. We've got Power, Tri-State coming up next. We'll return to Dallas after these messages.